So if on Saturday you stay in Tembisa and you're planning to leave the house to ask people to present their IDs to you, I just wanted to tell you that you can actually be sent to prison. And then for the people who are going to be asked to present their IDs by these citizens, Tamo Tembisa, you can please ask them to present their IDs to you and then take a picture of their ID and take a picture of them and then go and open a case at the police station, and they can be arrested for impersonation of a police officer or immigration officer. They can be arrested for assault or kidnapping. They can be arrested for violating an act. They can be arrested also for harassment. So the March and March minions of Tembisa, or the March and March representatives of Tembisa, have started. So on Saturday, they're going to go house to house, to the houses in Tembisa, section by section, where they're going to be asking people to present their IDs and their passports and their documents, because they say it's going to be a very peaceful thing where they're just going to ask you guys to present your IDs or your passports or your paperwork, and then if you have your papers, they're going to leave. If you don't have your papers, they're going to give you a deadline to say on the 30th of June you must be out of Tembisa. Now, my suggestion is that for the people who are uncomfortable with this, ask them to first show you their IDs or their paperwork or their passports, and then take a picture of their ID and then take a picture of them. After that, go to the police station and file a case of harassment or trespassing or whatever, because Cyril Ramaphosa himself did say no one is allowed, in fact it is illegal or even against the law, to go to someone's house or ask someone to present their paperwork and their IDs and their documentation to you, especially when you are not the authority. So you don't work for the Home Affairs, you don't work for the police, you don't work for traffic, you are not border management, you are not nothing, but you are asking people to show you your ID. That is wrong, and those people can be sent to prison. So when someone comes to your doorstep and says, let me see your paperwork and I am here because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ask them to show you their IDs. Take a picture of their IDs and take a picture of them, whether it's peaceful or not, but it is wrong. It is completely wrong. You are not a Home Affairs, you are not a police officer, you are not a traffic officer, you are a zero officer, and then you're asking people to show you their paperwork. For what good reason? It is completely wrong. Listen, I understand that they're coming from a good space, and then they're doing this because they want to take a very peaceful approach and all of that, but it is wrong either way. You can't be going to people's houses and asking them to show you their documents. It is completely wrong. Because the other thing is that we don't even have the guarantee that after they go house to house and then they're like, oh no, we are just here for a peaceful wati, we just want to see your paperwork. How do you even know that these people are not going to go back with a little black book writing down all of the houses of people who say they don't have a passport or they have an ID or they have this and then this passport has expired or they don't want to? How do you even know that these people are not going to go back and report to the people they're going to be all over Tembisa or all over South Africa going around harassing people? How do you know? How do you know? You don't have the guarantee. You don't at this point, Nogal. Because my thing is, what are the odds? Fine, you come in a peaceful approach, but what are the odds that after you leave, you are going to report to someone who's also like, oh, but we're doing a very peaceful thing. Can't this person is reporting to someone else, where now they're going to come 30th June, go into the houses of the people who said, no, I'm not going to give you my ID, or no, I don't have a passport, or no, I don't have a this, and then harass people and pull them out of those houses. How do you know? It is completely wrong. Ask them to present a picture of their ID. Take a picture of their ID, take a picture of them, go to the police station, open a case. This is completely wrong, but this is completely wrong. Take your harassment. Now I'm harassing because I get. There is no law that authorizes a private citizen to go around asking people to present their documents. If the person asking you is someone who works for the SAPS in their uniform and shows you their badge, that's fine. And if the person is an immigration officer, that is fine. But a private citizen cannot go door to door asking people to present their IDs to them. That is just no. Harassment. However, if you are a business person or you are in a business and then you're asking people for their IDs, that is completely fine. So if it's for business purposes and you're asking someone to present their IDs, that is fine. But door to door, and then also if you impersonate a police officer or you impersonate someone who is an authority, so you act as though you are a police officer or you are a home affairs person or you're an immigration officer, you can be arrested actually for impersonation and fraud, because that is fraud to do that, and you will be persecuted according to impersonation and fraud. And then if you detain someone or you arrest someone for refusing to present their ID or their documents, you can be arrested for kidnapping and assault. You can be arrested for kidnapping, assault. So if you impersonate a immigration officer, a police officer, a traffic officer, a home affairs official or whatever, that is fraud. And then that is impersonation. So you can be arrested for fraud and impersonation. And then if you detain or you arrest someone for refusing, then you can be arrested for kidnapping and assault. And then if you discriminate, so you go only after black people, or you go after people who, according to you, look like foreigners or foreign-looking people, you can be arrested for violating an act. The act is an act, promotion of equality and prevention of unfair discrimination. So if you discriminate, so you go only after Ethiopians or people who you are convinced look like foreigners, you can be arrested for violating this act. And then if you harass or intimidate people, then like you threaten to follow people, to block them or to threaten them, you can also be arrested for this. So please choose wisely. And then if SAPS is asking for you to present your ID, you can do so. If a Home Affairs immigration officer is asking you to present your ID or your documents, you may do so. But if it is a citizen, so just a regular South African who comes to your doorstep and say, let me see your passport, you can actually say no. And if they violate any of your rights, or they harass you, or they intimidate you, or they arrest you, you can actually also send them to prison for violating all of these other things that I just listed. The only reason why it would be fine for someone to demand your ID is if the person is the SAPS or an immigration officer. They can demand or threaten or detain you for not presenting your IDs. But anyone else, guys, unfortunately, it's completely wrong. So if someone is impersonating a Home Affairs official or SAPS, they can be arrested for fraud and impersonation. And then if the person detains you or arrests you for refusing to present your ID, you can get them arrested, go the SAPS, for kidnapping and assault, which is actually a criminal procedure. And if someone is discriminating you, so someone comes to you because you look like a foreigner or they are convinced that you are a foreigner, you can also get them arrested for discrimination, because they are violating the Promotion of Equality and Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act. And if the person harasses